The Voynich Manuscript. A late medieval manuscript lies hidden away in Yale University's rare book library. It is written in a small, exacting script and is illustrated with vivid line drawings that have occasionally been hastily painted over with color washes. These drawings range from the fantastical legions of heavy-headed flowers that have no link to any earthly kind to the weird, naked, probably pregnant ladies having fun on what appear to be 15th century amusement park water slides. The naked figures have a comical appearance because of their bloated stomachs, stick-like arms and legs, and earnest looks, even though their anatomy is depicted honestly, unusual for the time. This is because the book, which is known as the Voynich Manuscript after the rare book trader who discovered it a century ago, is written in an unidentified script and uses an alphabet that is exclusive to its pages. The system of writing is strangely lovely, with plenty of wavy and looping arcs. For its resemblance to a hangman's scaffold, a group of unusual letters known as the gallows are occasionally connected with other letters or have been decorated by a scribe with ornate curlicues. It's unclear what these symbols mean, whether they denote phonetic data, numerical numbers, or something else entirely. According to its illustrations, the manuscript appears to be a compendium of knowledge about the natural world, with pages devoted to celestial body movements like the transit of the moon across the Pleiades, sections about herbs, and what appears to be a description of biological processes. Based on the handwriting, it is assumed that at least 2 and possibly up to 8 experienced scribes worked on the writing, which may have taken years of toil. The writing flows without hesitation from one letter to the next. Codicology. Researchers have looked into the codicology, or physical qualities, of the writing. The book was organized into 18 quires and contained hundreds of vellum pages. The text has about 240 pages in total. However, the precise amount depends on how the odd foldouts are calculated. The top right corner of each recto, right-hand, page has been numbered from 1 to 116 using a type of numerals that were developed later. The quires have been numbered from 1 to 20 in various spots using a style of numbers that is compatible with those used in the 15th century. It appears likely that the manuscript once had at least 272 pages and 20 quires, some of which were already missing when Wilfrid Voynich purchased the book in 1912. This is based on the different numbering gaps in the queries and pages. Strong proof points to the fact that many of the book's bifolios were rearranged at various periods over its history and that its pages were originally arranged differently from how they are now. Covers, binding, and parchment. At the University of Arizona, samples from various sections of the document were radiocarbon dated in 2009. All samples analyzed yielded consistent results, indicating that the parchment was created between 1404 and 1438. Calfskin and multispectral analysis demonstrated that it had not been written before the creation of the book. Protein testing in 2014 established the origin of the parchment as calfskin. The paper is of medium quality and features flaws like holes and tears that are typical of parchment codices, but it was also prepared with such care that the skin side and the flesh side are nearly indistinguishable from one another. It takes at least 14 or 15 entire calfskins to make the parchment. The book's goatskin covers and binding are not original to it. Rather, they were added after it was acquired by the Collegio Romano. The first and last folios of the manuscript in the current arrangement have insect holes, which indicate that a wooden cover was once there before the later covers. An interior cover made of tan leather is indicated by discoloration on the edges. Paint. Possibly at a later time, colored paint was put, very clumsily, on the ink-drawn figurines. PLM, XRD, EDS, and scanning electron microscopy, SAM, have all been used to evaluate the blue, white, red, brown, and green paints used in the article. The blue paint turned out to be powdered azurite with trace amounts of cuprite, a copper oxide. Egg white and calcium carbonate are probably both ingredients in the white paint. The crystalline substance may be a tachyte or another copper-chlorine compound, and copper chlorine resonate are used to tentatively identify the green paint. The reddish-brown paint tested positive for red ochre, which has the crystal phases hematite and iron sulfide. The reddish-brown paint may contain trace levels of palmierite and lead sulfide. The pigments used were thought to be cheap. Text. Every page of the manuscript has text on it. most of it written in an unknown language, although some also include supplemental Latin script writing. The 240-page manuscript's main text is written in an unidentified left-to-right script. The majority of the characters are made out of just one or two easy pen strokes. Although there is some debate about whether particular characters are distinct, the majority of the text may be represented by a script of 20 to 25 characters, except a few dozen rarer characters that appear only occasionally. No evident punctuation is used. Transcription. Many transcription alphabets, like the extensible, originally European Voynich alphabet, EVA, have been developed to translate Voynich letters into Latin characters to aid in cryptanalysis. The first significant one was developed by the first study group under the direction of cryptographer William F. Friedman in the 1940s, in which every line of the manuscript was converted into the machine-readable form on an IBM punch card. Purpose. The manuscript's remaining leaves convey the idea that it was intended to be a pharmacopoeia or to include issues in medieval or early modern medicine. However, several speculations concerning the book's history, the text's contents, and its intended audience have been sparked by the picture's perplexing elements. Although attempts to identify the plants in the book's opening chapter either with actual specimens or with the stylized illustrations of contemporary herbals have been unsuccessful, only a small number of the plant pictures, such as a wild pansy and the maidenhair fern, may be identified with good accuracy. The herbal drawings that correspond to pharmaceutical sketches seem to be exact replicas of them, with the exception that any blank spaces were filled in with improbable-looking elements. A large number of the plant illustrations in the herbal section appear to be composites, with the roots of one species attached to the leaves of another and the blooms of a third species added on top. Herb collecting, bloodletting, and other traditional medicinal treatments were often influenced heavily by astrological factors during the most likely period of the document. Apart from the obvious zodiac symbols and one design that may depict the traditional planets, interpretation is still speculative. Voynich made up the story. Some believe Voynich created the document on his own. He undoubtedly had the requisite skills and resources because he was an antique book trader, and a missing Roger Bacon book would have been quite valuable. Additionally, neither Baresh's nor Marcy's letters prove that the document referenced in the Voynich letter is the same as the one that was established. If Voynich was aware of these letters, it is possible that they served as the impetus for him to construct the text. Many believe that this possibility has been ruled out, though, as a result of the manuscript's expert internal dating and the June 1999 discovery of Baresh's letter to Kircher. According to Eamon Duffy, the radiocarbon dating of the parchment effectively eliminates any chance that the manuscript is a post-medieval forgery because the consistency of the pages suggests origin from a single source, and it is inconceivable that a quantity of unused parchment consisting of at least 14 or 15 entire calfskins could have survived from the early 15th century. Several theories. Voynich was able to make out the name Jakobja Tepanes, which was scribbled at the bottom of the manuscript's first page sometime around 1921. It is believed that Jakub Huyck of Tepanek, also known by his Latin name Jacobus Sinapius, is the subject of this illusion. He was ennobled by Rudolf II in 1607, given the titles of imperial distiller, curator of his botanical gardens, and one of his physicians. Voynich, and many others after him, concluded that Jacobus held the Voynich manuscript before Baresh, and he made a connection between it and Rudolf's court to support Nishovsky's account. Facsimiles. About the manuscript, a lot of books and articles have been written. Alchemist Georgius Bartius, also known as George Baresh, see the second paragraph under History, created copies of the manuscript pages in 1637 and gave them to Athanasius Kircher. Later, Wilfrid Voynich made copies of the manuscript pages. If you liked this video, follow us and you will find many videos that will help you to transform your life. Thanks for watching all the video. Please subscribe and hit the bell. See you soon.